Sorry for the little delay. I would like to call the Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, November 19th. It is now 4:35. The meeting will begin. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after? Commissioner Kasricki, could you lead us? Okay, can we get a roll call on the commissioners?
Merrick,
Here.
Soto Presley, Kasperky,
Here.
Irick,
Here.
Upridge.
Here, for the record, we have 4 present with 1 absent. Okay, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay, number 5 is homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. It's, to my understanding, it's canceled. There's no action needed.
Correct.
Okay, that brings us to number 6, emergency program for Christine Lofton at 1126 State Street. Welcome.
Yes.
Commissioner, this is Christine Lofton. She received an emergency loan for her home at 1126 State Street for $4,800. And according to Andrea, Ms. Lofton was without water for almost a year, and she needed a new Buffalo box.
I don't know. Any question? No. Mr. President, I make a motion for the emergency program for Christine Lofton at 1126 State Street.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for the emergency program for Christine Lofton at 1126 State Street. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley, Kasperky,
Yes.
Irick,
Yes.
Upridge.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes with 1 absent. Thank you, I appreciate you
Thank
taking the
you.
time to come out. You may be excused if you like.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Happy holidays.
Y'all have a blessed day. You too.
You gotta have water. All right, number 7 is an approval of agreement to purchase real estate known as 740 River Drive.
Members of the commission, this is the purchase agreement for 740 North River Drive. This property is just south of 8094, right on the river. It is the Unity Church of Christ. They've been there for a while, but, and I don't know if any of you have noticed, recently, I think in May, the church went up for sale.
Yes.
So it was listed with a realtor. Did I get that right?
Yes, realtor.
Yeah, right, because there's not an extra syllable in there.
Right.
So it was listed with a realtor. The city has had plans to, because that intersection at River, Calumet, and the off-ramp of 8094 is so bad, and there was recently a pedestrian struck there. The mayor's office wanted to look at a pedestrian bridge over the top so that those traveling east and west on the bike trail will be able to traverse over Calumet Avenue, kind of like we have right out down here south of City Hall at Conkey Street. So we made inquiry. Kevin Smith and I met with the board of directors of the church, and we were able to reach a purchase agreement. This goes a little bit, construction would start next summer with the goal of having it done by the fall. It is a little quicker, I think, than the project was originally. It was not as much of a priority, but because they had listed it for sale, the last thing we wanted to do was have them sell to another congregation have that other congregation move in thinking they had just purchased their new home, and then have us come by and say, oh, we need the church for a bike trail, right? So that wouldn't have been terrific. So when we approached the church, they were very, very happy to deal with us. There's also a cell tower on the site, which we are allowing them to, they lease and there's income, so we're gonna allow them to keep that cell tower and or sell it to some other, investor. But this will allow us to purchase I think we get possession in June 1st, if memory's right. Start the demolition and start both sides of the bridge at the same time, so it can be done clearly by this time next year.
Doesn't the path go through there already?
It does, but, and that's why we need something over the top of Calumet Avenue, is because people do traverse through there all the time, and that's why it's a safety hazard, and I think, the mayor would better be able to answer this question, but I know he's gotten inquiries from people about how dangerous that intersection is, and I think the last.
People coming off of 94, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's awful, and especially at like this time of night, it's pretty bad. So, and I know that one of the letters he got was from a Munster resident that said to him, hey, you're doing all these great bridges, and we have this really dangerous intersection, will you take a look at it? And he was already looking at it, but I know he really, it was a priority to take care of what is a really dangerous, crossing.
Well, if there's no further discussion or questions, Mr. President, I make a motion for the approval of agreement to purchase real estate known as 740 River Drive.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for the approval of the agreement to purchase real estate known as 740 River Drive. Can we have a roll call on that?
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley, Hesperky,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hawbridge.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, number 8 is an approval of option agreement with 35 State Street LLC.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find an option to purchase agreement for the property known as 35 State Street. The purchase price for the option is $50,000. This property, as you are aware, we advertised earlier last year, and this was the only bidder of the property. We advertised from 15 to 49 State Street, and the property owner is interested in 35 State Street. And that is it. They're interested in 35 State Street.
He was the only bidder?
He was the only bidder.
Makes it easy. Anybody, questions? No. Mr. President, I move for the approval of option agreement with 35 State Street LLC.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's the approval of option agreement with 35 State Street LLC. Can we have a roll call, please?
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley, Hesperky,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hawbridge.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. All right, number 9's reports. Staffer Tarver, would you like to share anything?
Yes, we have I have two things to share tonight. Tonight, at the Gene Shepherd Center from 6 to 9 p.m., we'll have the traffic study meeting for the traffic study for Project Ice Cube. That's the new Ice Cube that's being built. So this will address traffic concerns within the neighborhood. We had a traffic study conducted, and we will, at that time, let them know the results of the traffic study, as well as hear any comments from the neighbors within that community. As I stated, that's from 6 to 9 p.m. tonight at the Gene Shepherd Center. Also, tomorrow is the final presentation of the master plan, Transforming Downtown Hammond with Jeff Speck. So please mark your calendar for tomorrow, November 20th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. We're very excited because I stated this is the final master plan.
All right, thank you for those updates.
You're welcome.
All right, number 10's our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims, beginning with claims dated 10/24/19 and ending with claims dated 11/14/19. Claim number R58074 through R58185.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for our register of claims, it's dating October 24th, 2019 through November 14th, 2019. That's claims R58074 through claim R58185. Is there any questions or discussion for staff on these claims? Okay, roll call, please.
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley, Caspergy,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperich.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. All right, that brings us to number 11, new and unfinished business. I think there's 2 items that were passed out tonight.
Yes, members of the commission, you have 2 items that were added for new and unfinished business today. The first one is from HC3, Hessville's Holiday Extravaganza, which will take place on Friday, December 6th, 2019, from 5 to 9 p.m. at the North Township Circle of Services Building at 165th Street. They would like, they're asking for the permission of the Redevelopment Commission to use a lot at Kennedy and 165th Street. As you know, we own that property, and it's a vacant parcel. Weather permitting, they'd like to have the Salvation Army buses parked there, and they'll serve hot chocolate and cookies, and would also like to have Christmas carolers out there singing.
Anything negative, any liabilities that we have to worry about or anything?
You always have liability when you, I mean, I don't know that we've done an inspection of the lot, so I don't know how much. So there have been times in the past when we've agreed to do it where we've had an indemnity agreement. I mean, in light of that it's HC3, I don't know. It's kind of a judgment call.
I believe we've let them use lots before for Live in the Ville. And I don't think they've ever had any problems. They're trying to bring people back to the Hessville area.
I guess I just didn't know if we need a, what'd you call it, indemnity agreement or something? I guess
It would
that's
be
what-
like a hold harmless, that, you know, we're allowing them to use the lot for this event, and I can put that together and get it over to them. We've done, I don't know that we've done it with HC3 in the past. I know we've done it,
Downtown Hammond, we've done some things.
yeah, where we've allowed them to use it, but we've said, listen, if somebody gets hurt out there, it's on you.
Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Mr. President, if there's no other questions, I would move for the approval of the use of the lot with an agreement, indemnity agreement drawn up.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley, Caspergy,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperich.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you so much, members of the commission. I also would like to invite all of you to come out to the Holiday Extravaganza. They always do a really good event, and there's always a lot of people that come out there.
Okay,
If you like, at this time, I'll move to the second order on the agenda for new and unfinished business. Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find the 9th Amendment to to the purchase agreement for park development for the property that's located at I believe it's 628 Hoffman Street. I don't want to give the wrong address.
Mr. Myrick's put the
I'm not
over-under at
sure.
12, so we're getting close.
So as you know, the city is working. Yeah. The city's working with this group for the development of this property. They're going through their due diligence period, but they are working on another project within the city of Hammond. So that's one of the reasons why you keep getting the amendments to the purchase of the real estate.
Okay, I'm cool until we get to number 12.
Okay,
You know, there is such a thing in real estate, time is of the essence, and this is drawn.
understandable.
Well, I think, and in fairness to the developer, this is the same group that's working, or a similar group, that's working on the Marble Street project. And there's a time crunch with that for the end of the year. You'll remember you did a development agreement with them, and they're trying to meet some thresholds so that they can secure not only the promised incentive from the city, but the promised incentive from the state. So I think probably a lot going on over at their office right now. So,
And also their client needs all of this done by the end of the year so they can begin construction as soon as possible. So they are definitely under a very strict timeline.
but when we get to 12, there are gonna be lights and bells and sirens.
Mr. President, I make a motion for the approval of the 9th Amendment to Agreement to Purchase Real Estate between Redevelopment and Park Development.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's have a roll call on that then.
Merrick,
Yes.
Little Presley, Casperky,
Yes.
Lyrics,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, that should be the end of new and unfinished business.
That is correct.
Number 12 is public comment. Anybody like to come forward, you can speak now, you have 3 minutes. Okay, public comment is closed. Number 13.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.